All right, welcome to part two of standard two, and we're moving on with anatomy. We just got done with the neurons, moving on to the brain. So, the brain is just a combination of billions of those neurons, which, when you have those axon terminals connect to dendrites, you're talking about trillions of those connections that store who you are, all of your thoughts, the way you do things, how you subconsciously react to things. All of that is stored here inside that brain. And it takes a lot of energy to do that. That's why 20% of the blood leaving your heart goes directly to your brain because it is eating calories and oxygen really, really fast and building up high levels of toxicity as well. So you remember that your brain is the most important processing area of your body. The way you think, the actions you take are done by your brain. And in this class, you just have to memorize the three basic areas: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. The cerebrum is the top part, the biggest part of your brain, the part that humans have the most important adaptation that we have that's made us so successful is having a really large cerebrum. The cerebrum is the part that lets you think. It's split into two halves. The right half controls the left side of your body. The left half controls the right side of your body. And in here are all specialized processing areas for all of your senses: sound, touch, light, all those things, and also processing areas for memory. So you have a specific area for language. You have a specific area for reading. A specific area for singing. Specific area for math and number concentrated thoughts, and another area for artistic and creative thoughts. Um, and if those areas are closer or farther away from each other, you may be good or bad at different things. It's really, really interesting how unique your brain is, and specifically your cerebrum to yourself. Now, the next part of your cerebellum, like this sits back and below your cerebrum, and this does a bunch of coordination for you. So when you think of something complex to do, like write out your name, that's going to require a lot of little dainty muscles and a lot of very fine and precision movements. Your cerebellum takes care of all that for you. So all you have to think about is writing your name, and it's done. The cerebellum does it all. All you have to do is program your cerebellum, make it memorize things correctly. And this is where practice comes in. When you practice something, you're teaching the cerebellum how to do it automatically for you. And as long as you're practicing things perfectly and the way they're supposed to be done, your cerebellum will do them automatically exactly how you like them every single way. It's why most of us aren't tripping over our feet anymore. We've taught ourselves how to walk correctly. We've taught ourselves how to run correctly. You've taught yourself how to chew food without getting your tongue bitten. Hmm, Most of us. Okay. Um, but that's what the cerebellum does. Is it basically takes all of these complex movements and just says, "Oh, we got that. You've taught us how to do that correctly." Perfect. Next up is the brainstem. The brainstem is this centrally located area, and it does all of your subconscious thoughts. So things like breathing, your heart rate, your blood pressure, um, maintaining your fluids, whether you're thirsty or not, when you get hungry, all that is controlled by this brainstem right here. So you have your cerebrum, your cerebellum, and then your brainstem is the ancient part. It's also called your reptilian brain because this is where all of your just gut reactions come from. It's your brainstem, and then your limbic system up here as well. It deals with your emotions. But brainstem made up the pons, medulla, and midbrain. As long as you know it's your brainstem, you're going to do fine. Memorize the anatomy. Make sure you know that this is the cerebrum, not the cerebellum. Those two get mixed up a lot because they're spelled almost identical. I get it, but you have to make sure you can get that correctly. All right, that's the brain. Go get this pass off done, and I'll see you for the last part, part three.